Soar Elder. Gather close, my children. Let me tell you of a man who built his house on sand, not knowing he stood on solid rock. This story is not just his story, it is a warning, a mirror, and a lesson wrapped in truth. In a bustling town where the red earth meets the sky, there lived a man named Kofi. But this story does not begin with Kofi alone. It begins with two souls bound by destiny, united by struggle, and blessed by the ancestors. Kofi was a dreamer with empty pockets. He believed in tomorrow, but today was cruel. His parents had passed, leaving him nothing but their name and their prayers. He worked from dawn to dusk, but his earnings could barely feed him. Ama's aunt. Ama, why do you look at that boy? He has nothing. You need a man with means, not another mouth to feed. Ama. Auntie, I see more than his pockets. I see his hands. They work. I see his heart. It helps. Wealth can be built. Character cannot. Kofi. Why are you kind to me when I have nothing to offer? Ama, smiling. The river does not ask the earth for permission to flow. It simply gives. One day the earth will bloom because of it. And so, under the watchful eyes of the ancestors, two souls became one. Not in a palace, but in a small room with a leaking roof. Not with gold, but with promises whispered by candlelight. Ama's father, blessing them. My children, remember this. A marriage is like a palm tree. It grows slowly, but its roots go deep. Do not measure your wealth by what you have today, but by what you build together. Ama. The early bird catches the worm, but the wise bird shares it with its mate. Kofi to supplier. I cannot pay you today, but I promise double next week. Ama, stepping in. My husband is a man of his word, and I am a woman of strategy. What if we offer you a share of our profits for 3 months instead? Where Kofi had strength, Ama had wisdom. Where Kofi had dreams, Ama had plans. Together they were unstoppable. Kofi, excited. Ama, we made enough today to buy that second-hand sewing machine. Ama, prayerfully. Let us give thanks first, and let us set aside a portion for the poor. Wealth that does not bless others is a burden, not a gift. This is ours, Ama, because of you. Ama. Because of us, Kofi. Never forget. We are one hand clapping. Years passed, the shop grew. Then came a warehouse, then investments, then partnerships. Their names became known across the region. Kofi the builder, Ama the wise. Together they were unstoppable. Chief. Kofi and Ama, you have shown us that two can build what one cannot even dream of. You are the pride of our town. Kofi, proud, standing tall. Thank you, Chief, but let it be known, my wife Ama is the backbone of this success. Ama, humbly. And my husband is the strength. We are like the left and right hand, different but working as one. But success, like the sun at noon, casts the shortest shadows and blinds men to what lies ahead. Nana, laughing, touching Kofi's arm. Mr. Kofi, I've heard so much about you. You're the youngest tycoon in the region. Such success at your age, you must be very special. Kofi, flattered. Oh, it's just hard work and blessings. Nana. Blessings or brilliance? Don't be modest. A man like you deserves someone who matches his energy, his status, his youth. And so the poison entered, not with a shout, but with a whisper, not with force, but with flattery. Ama. Welcome home, my love. How was your day? Kofi. Fine, Ama, why don't you dress more modernly? The wives of my business partners wear designer clothes. They go to spas, travel abroad. Ama. Kofi, I wear what is comfortable and respectful. I spend our money wisely on our children's education, on expanding the business, on helping our parents. Is that wrong? Kofi. I'm just saying, maybe we need to enjoy our wealth more. Show it off a little. Ama. The tree that shows off its fruits invites the birds to eat them all. Let our wealth be like the baobab, strong, deep-rooted, providing shade for generations, not just today. But Kofi's ears were no longer tuned to wisdom. They were tuned to flattery, and flattery is a sweet wine that turns the mind to vinegar. Nana. Kofi, you're a king. But you're living like a chief with a queen who acts like a servant. Don't you want someone who reflects your glory? Someone young, vibrant, who can stand beside you at galas and photo shoots? Kofi. But Ama, she was with me when I had nothing. She built this with me. Nana. And she's done her part. But seasons change, Kofi. Spring gives way to summer. You need a woman in her prime, not one who's fading. And there it was, the lie wrapped in truth, the betrayal disguised as progress. Kofi forgot that a tree does not abandon its roots when it bears fruit. He forgot that the hand that lifted him was the same hand he now wanted to cut off. Old friend. Kofi, my brother, what is happening? You're chasing shadows and ignoring the sun. Ama is your blessing. Don't trade a diamond for a piece of glass because it shines brighter in the light. Kofi, angry. You're just jealous. You don't understand what I need. Kwame. I understand that a man who forgets where he came from will never know where he's going. Mark my words, this path leads to ruin. Kofi, avoiding eye contact. Ama, we need to talk. Ama, sensing danger, calm. I'm listening, Kofi. Kofi. I've met someone. Her name is Nana. She's young, she's vibrant, she understands the life I'm living now. I think we should end our marriage. AMA, quietly. Is this what you truly want, Kofi? Or is this what someone else has convinced you to want? Kofi, defensive. It's what I want. I've outgrown this life. I need someone who matches where I'm going. AMA, standing dignified. Kofi, listen to me carefully. The wealth you see was never yours alone. It was built on shared sweat, shared spirit, and shared faith. I was not just your wife. I was your partner, your advisor, your prayer warrior. The ancestors blessed our union, not just you. Kofi, impatient. These are just superstitions, Ama. We're living in modern times. Ama, tears finally falling but voice strong. You may leave, Kofi, but remember this. When you cut the root, the tree will fall. When you abandon the foundation, the house will collapse. I pray you learn this lesson before it's too late. Ama, at the door, turning back. I will not fight for a heart that has already left, but know this. The door of my heart will remain open should you ever find your way back. Not as my husband, but as the father of our children and the man I once loved. And so the man who had everything made the choice that would cost him everything. He traded gold for glitter, wisdom for vanity, a blessing for a curse. The wedding was the talk of the town, flowers imported from abroad, designers flown in, a celebration of excess, but the ancestors were silent, and silence, my children, is sometimes the loudest warning. Nana. Now that we're married, I want the house redecorated. This furniture is so traditional, and I need a new car. That one you have is embarrassing. Kofi, surprised. But Ama never asked for such things. We were building for the future. Nana, laughing coldly. Ama, she's the past, Kofi. I'm your present. And if you want to keep me happy, you'll spoil me. That's what rich men do. And so began the bleeding. Not of blood, but of wealth. Not of life, but of legacy. Business partner. On phone, angry. Kofi, what's happening? The contracts we signed, your wife Ama always reviewed them. Now there are errors, loopholes, we're losing money. Where is she? Kofi, panicking. I can handle it. Give me time. Nana, overhearing. Just pay them off. You're rich, aren't you? Bank manager. Mr. Kofi, there are unusual withdrawals from your accounts. Large sums going to personal expenses, luxury items. Your business accounts are overdrawn. We need to freeze some assets. Kofi, desperate. No, you can't. I have deals closing. Kofi, what is happening? Nana, coldly. I'm leaving, Kofi. You're broke. The rumors are everywhere. Your business is collapsing. Your accounts are frozen. I'm not staying on a sinking ship. Kofi, begging. But you said you loved me. Nana, laughing bitterly. I loved your money, Kofi, and now it's gone, just like you. 7 days, that's all it took. 7 days for an empire built over 15 years to crumble to dust. 7 days for Kofi to learn what Ama had tried to tell him. She was not just a wife, she was the vessel of his blessing. Former friend 1, whispering to another, "There goes Kofi the Great, now Kofi the Nothing." Former friend 2, "He traded a qui. You think wealth is a destination. It is not. It is a responsibility. I built an empire and lost it in 7 days because I forgot the first rule: never confuse the vessel with the water. The water was my wife's wisdom. The vessel was my name. When I broke the vessel, the water dried up." Young woman in group, "But sir, how do we know when we're making the same mistake?" Kofi, smiling gently, "When you start measuring people by what they can give you instead of what they've already stood for with you. When silence feels heavier than truth. When gratitude becomes a memory instead of a daily practice. That is when you stop, kneel, and ask the ancestors to realign your heart." AMA to the group. "A man may lay the bricks, but a woman mixes the mortar. Without it, the wall cracks at the first storm. Never let anyone tell you your mind is secondary to your beauty. Your strategy is your crown. Wear it daily." The town changed, slowly, quietly. Young couples began seeking counsel before weddings. Elders revived the tradition of covenant talks, where spouses publicly vow not just love, but loyalty, shared vision, and mutual honor. Kofi's fall became the community's compass,